What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video, and today I'm going to be, well, basically what this video is, it's going to be an explanation video on why I left Phoenix Pro Scooters, which was my current sponsor of 3 years, and am now riding with no sponsor. So pretty much I can't even imagine how many of you guys are just confused about this whole thing. How many of you did not expect it? I'm sure some of you did expect it, like the ones that really pay attention to everything. I'm sure some of you did expect what was going down, but I'm sure the majority of you did not expect what was going down. So today's video really is just going to be me explaining everything, all the reasons on why I left the team. So what I wanted to say before I get into the explanation is like this video, guys, and also first link in the description. If you haven't copped any SAUNDEZY merch yet, go down, click that link and go cop some merch, because guys, it's fire. It's fire. And big things for 2018. Just wait. We got big plans. We're dropping a few things in the coming months. It's going to be sick, guys, so keep your eyes peeled. We got big things coming. And, of course, like this video, guys, you already know. Pretty sure I already said that, though. And with all that being said, let's get into the video. So the first thing is first. I have been riding for Phoenix Pro Scooters for 3 years. Let me actually tell you how I got sponsored from Phoenix in the first place. So this is how it happened. Late 2014, early 2015. Wes was actually talking to Phoenix, and they were like planning up something where, cause like we were shredding, and you know, we had the whole COVID thing going on. We were just like, we were kind of popping right then and there. We just had a group of homies, age range from like 14 to 18, and pretty much we were killing it back then. We always were. We still are. We still are, of course. The people that still ride from COVID are still killing it. But anyway, so Wesma was talking to Cooper Clara, I believe, and they were organising something where they were going to make like a little Australian team, I believe. Don't quote me if I'm wrong, guys. I might have a few things wrong in here when I'm trying to explain like the grand knowledge of things. I'm trying. So I'm pretty sure they were speaking. They organised a little deal. They made a little Australian team where Wes was going to be the team manager, and then me, Blake, and also Wilson Thomas were going to be sponsored by Phoenix. Now, me, Blake, and Wilson, me and Blake were actually the ones who got on from Wes being this like team manager kind of thing, and Wilson was previously on because he won Phoenix Initiation. Now I think this whole thing is where it completely started, because if there wasn't a rider in Australia to begin with, I don't think this whole thing would have came about. So I'm pretty sure that's where it fully started. So that's what happened. There was an Australian team, and Wes was also on the team as a pro rider, and he was filming our videos and all. Actually, yeah. What the hell? What am I saying? He wasn't the team manager. I mean, he was, but he was also riding. Yeah, I believe that's correct. So he was also riding for Phoenix. So it was me, Blake, Wilson, and Wesma. That's 4 heads, guys, 4 heads. And eventually, over time of shredding, riding, making Welcome To videos and all this stuff, people slowly started to leave and get kicked and dropped off from the Australian team. I don't know why, that's how it went down, guys. It was weird. And then it was only me left on. Now, Blake got kicked off the team. I'm not going to go into why he got kicked off, but Phoenix actually found out something that he did, and he got kicked off the team. But Wilson, on the other hand, he left, and Wesma also got kicked off the team, because at that time, a lot of people hated Wesma for some reason, and yeah, I don't know, he just got kicked off. Like, it was weird. It was really weird. And Wilson Thomas, the other guy that was on the team, he actually left, and that left me, and I was on the team for like a good 2.5 years, just solo in Australia. Over time, that meant it was a little harder to get parts and stuff like that, just due to them having to send it from such a far distance and it costing so much. So it was a little hard to get parts and stuff sometimes. I'm not saying at all that they did not send me parts or anything like that. Every time I asked, they said yes, all this stuff. It just took a longer period of time because it was coming from such a far distance. That's all I'm saying. But over the time of being on Phoenix, I went on so many trips with them. The people on the team are some of my closest friends to this day. Shouts out to all of them. They are all the homies and will forever be the homies, not gonna lie. And Jake Hershey, who's the team manager as of this time, I've also became great friends with him over the period of me being on Phoenix, well, while he's actually been team manager and stuff like that, while I've come up on trips and all this stuff. I just want to say a big thanks to everything Phoenix have done. For all the trips, all the parts, all the stuff, the SIG wheels, everything, guys. I just want to get into something here. There are many little reasons that went into the decision of me quitting Phoenix, but this is one of them. A wider deck, yes, because my favorite trick of 50s, Phoenix are one of the only companies as of this time, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong. But Phoenix is one of the only companies, street companies, that have not released or have announced they are going to be releasing wider decks. Now, I know they were going to be releasing wider decks next year at some point, guys, but even with my SIG deck that I was going to be getting, it was not going to be wider than 5. And, like, I could deal with that for sure. Yeah, I could have dealt with that, but But it would have been hard, guys. My favorite trick is 50-50s, and seeing everyone out here on 6 wides, 5 5s, 5 7 5, 5 2 5s, whatever the case may be. It's just kind of gets to me sometimes, guys. But that's not all. Another reason why I left the team is when it came to the owner of Phoenix, right, guys? The owner of Phoenix, his name is Frank. I didn't even really know him. He's a complete businessman. As you know, Phoenix, the brand itself, is corporate, not rider owned. So that means it is different. Like, it is all around different, guys. It's not a bad different. It's not a good different necessarily. I mean, it's got its pros and cons, I would say. I can't go off the top of my head what they are because I really have to think about that. But the fact that the owner of Phoenix I had only like really talked to once, I never talked to over email or something. He doesn't scooter, he's just a businessman. He's like got kids and stuff like that. I don't know. I'd rather like speak directly to an owner of a brand if I were to be on a brand, just because it's so much more direct, it's so much easier. You get your point across from the rider to B, the core part of the brand from straight away, no middleman where I had to talk to, like on Phoenix I had to talk to the team manager who was Jake Hershey. I'm not saying this is bad at all, but I'm just saying it takes more time, guys. It's a bit more slower when you need to get things done, when you need to ask for things, this kind of thing. But, and in all honesty, I can't go too detailed in every single reason and all the things that are going on in this situation because I can't talk about, like, money, I can't talk about any of that stuff. What I was getting paid on Phoenix, I'm not going to talk about that. Anything that just doesn't have anything to do with me leaving Phoenix, I'm kind of going to steer clear from a little bit because this is a very touchy subject, so I'm going to try and word it as best as I can. Now I'm going to get into another reason why I left. For me, as scooter riding is my job, it's always going to be my job. I've done it for a while. I've done it for many years now. I actually left school like 2.5, 3 years ago maybe now, just to scooter, right, guys? Just to scooter, ride my scooter around and do tricks. Crazy, right? At that time I had no source of money, no nothing. I just left school, winged it completely, and it definitely did pay off because I ended up traveling the world, making a career out of it, and started earning some good money. So I'm really happy about that, guys. But that being said, scootering being my job, my everything pretty much, I want a contract, and with Phoenix I did not have a contract. So what a contract is, for all you people watching this who don't know, a contract is pretty much a piece of paper. When you get a job, or for example, when you're in an action sports like me, or BMX, or like scootering, BMX, whatever the case may be, you get contracts and stuff. Skateboarding, you have contracts, all this kind of stuff. So when you get a brand, you sign a contract to it for like a year, or whatever the case may be, however long the contract is set in motion for, and that pretty much locks in you being sponsored for that company for that point of time, and you have to hold up your end of that, the company has to hold up their end, and it just really locks in things, guys. And I mean, for me, it just makes it feel way more legit. It locks it in. It makes me just have reassurance that everything's going to get done. Like, I'm going to get paid on time, all this stuff. I'm going to get sent to all these places and all this kind of stuff. So that, to me, just really makes a big difference. I'm sure a lot of you can see how that makes sense because it just makes it way more of a legit thing. Like, I don't know. It almost would make you want to put in more work because, well, it would, theoretically, because there's things in paper that you signed off and agreed on both parties you have to live up to, and that's what it is. So you're just locking in what both parties want at the end of the day, pretty much. Now, that is the third reason why I decided to leave Phoenix. I'm going to get into another reason right now, guys, and that is signature parts. So with my signature wheels, guys, this is not one of the biggest reasons. The other three were honestly like the main reasons why I left. These are just things for me, little tiny things on why I also left. So I was still on the AM team. I know I was going to get bumped up to pro soon, but I have been riding for their company for 3 years. I've put out more parts than any other rider on the team, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. And I was on the AM team. It was just a bit sus to me. Like, it wasn't sus after a year at all. It wasn't sus after 2 years. It wasn't even sus after 2.5 years, but it was a bit sus after 3 years, not gonna lie. Now, I did know I was gonna go pro in October, but I just felt like I had done so much at the time, like, you know what I mean? And not only that, as I was saying, with my signature wheels, guys, so pretty much what happened with those is I got to design those probably late 2015, I'd say. I might be wrong, but this is when I believe I designed them. When I was doing SAUNDEZY sessions, guys, I designed those wheels, right? And then, so I designed them with watermelons on them, all this kind of stuff. Like, I designed them how I would want them at that time. And then it took actually 7 months, guys, for the wheels to drop. Now, I'm not saying I got prototypes beforehand and got to, like, test the wheels for 7 months before they drop. It took 7 months for them to drop. I didn't get prototypes, and they just dropped. So we didn't get to test them really. We didn't get prototypes, which was kind of weird, and they just straight up dropped. And not only that, but I wasn't even the first person to get my wheels. So the wheels dropped before I got my wheels, which was pretty annoying, I'm not gonna lie. Especially for the fact that it took so long for them to drop. And not only that, I didn't even get them first. So in that 7 months that they had dropped, I would have liked to redesign them, and I had already asked Jake to redesign them. And they were already in production, already getting made and all that stuff, and that's completely fair enough. I don't blame him not for changing them or anything like that. I just wish they could have at least dropped sooner, or I just wish I could have... No, I wish I mentioned earlier that I wanted to change them, in all honesty, because I just wasn't aware. They kept bringing back the deadline with when they were going to drop and all this stuff. And so anyway, some guy got my wheels before me named Felix Percival, some UK rider, and he was supposed to come give them to me, but then he ended up leaving them at his grandma's house or something, because he was down in Sydney for a trip to do some competition, like an ASA competition or something. It was such a mess, guys. And then pretty much the grandma had to email me my signature wheels, and then I had to pay the grandma for postage. Like, what the hell? And then I got my signature wheels finally, and not only that, guys, not only that, the signature wheels didn't even like distribute to Australia. They were meant to distribute to Australia. They didn't distribute to Australia, so no one in Australia could have gotten them from any Australian distributors. Like Syndicate couldn't have gotten them in, Scooter Hut couldn't have got them in, none of that. So that was kind of whack, and I only got 3 pairs of my wheels, and I couldn't get it. I tried, I couldn't get my hands on it anymore. I didn't try too hard, but I did try a little bit, and I couldn't get my hands on it anymore. But Phoenix have always been so good for sending me on trips, like giving me parts, as I've already said. I'm pretty sure I've already mentioned this. For 3 years, Phoenix has shaped me into the person that I am right now. Just made me the rider that I am today. But at the same time, I've done that myself, you know what I mean, guys? So Phoenix hasn't necessarily made me, but like I've made myself, but Phoenix has helped grow me as a person into who I am today, you know what I mean? Like, so that's just how it is. I'm now, from being on Phoenix, I'm educated about the whole sponsorship thing. I've got very clear vision when it comes to knowing what I need to do. Yeah, so I'm gonna get into another reason why I left Phoenix, guys. Now, actually, this isn't a reason why I left. I actually found this after I left, which was pretty weird. So as you guys would know, I'm going to insert the photo right here somewhere, but it got released on Instagram. I already announced on Instagram I'm leaving Phoenix a few days ago, and Phoenix also announced it like a day or 2 ago. But when Phoenix announced it, they released like a SIG graphic, and basically, I'm just going to put it in right here. You can see it, guys. 3, 2, 1. Bam, there you go. That's my SIG, what was gonna be my SIG graphic for a deck apparently. And now it looks cool and all this kind of stuff looks sick. It would have been so tight. It would have, can you guys imagine that on a Phoenix Ion? It would have been so sick, right? But I had no say. I had no say in designing this deck whatsoever. Like, I only knew about this once it was done. So honestly, if they had showed me that while I was still on the team, I would have straight up said like, nah, I'm not. I want to design my own deck, you know what I mean? I'm not about a deck getting designed for me. Like, that's pretty weird. Yeah, so apparently they were trying to do it like skateboarding or something like that, where Phoenix was trying to start. I don't know if they did this with Nick, Tyler Bradley's and Cooper's, but pretty much what the go was going to be like a big surprise to me, so I would have had like no say into it and all that. So I'm kind of really, like, now I'm even more happy I left than I did not dogging Phoenix at all. So shouts out to Phoenix for being the company that started me and just making me who I am today. Pretty much that's all I really wanted to say, guys. I hope this cleared everything up. I just want to say, freaking first link in the description, guys. Go get that SAUNDEZY merch. You already know we got big plans for SAUNDEZY merch now that we have more time to do stuff. And not only that, we got big plans coming, guys. Stay tuned because big announcements are coming soon. Like this video and of course turn post notifications on. I hope all of you guys enjoyed this segment where I just sat down and talked to you. It's always good to talk to my fans a little bit, isn't it? Now, I'm probably going to end off the video here, so like, share, comment, subscribe if you're new, turn post notifications on to get notified whenever I come out with a new video. And of course, guys, take it easy, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.